Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of Xenoblade Chronicles. Well, I haven't had breakfast yet. But anyway, before I continue on this episode, there's two things. Basically, if you want the finalization opinion, please go to... I'm gonna put annotation somewhere that'll go to the... skip the rest of this review, because the rest of this is about the story. Now, it's all about making this, like, 3 parts, the one about the gameplay, then story, then the finalization, but then I thought, maybe that's just too many videos and that, so I figured I'll put it at the end of this one. But I'll, put annotation so you don't have to hear the story spoilers if you don't want to listen to the story spoilers. That way you can just, get to the... Hey. Nope. Yeah, if you're not going to be a good chocobo. So anyway. So yeah, there'll be an annotation to go to final thoughts on that. But anyway, if you're still watching, warning, spoils, story, and many things ruined. So, starting in 3, 2, 1, welcome to... Oh wait, this ain't Let's Play. Yeah, that's how I match my audio and that. But anyway, so the story. So we already went about the beginning, that you're basically on a planet full of water with 2 dead corpses, supposed dead corpses, of 2 gigantic gods. However, you quickly find out, well, actually, you don't really quickly find out, but you do learn that there's a lot more obviously going on. See, basically, long ago, the Bionis and the Mechanis lived in peace with the life that lived on them. But then one day, chaos ensued, and, basically, in the beginning, it's kind of the story reminds me of that episode of Thundercats, where Lionel encounters 2 aliens, and one looks good, one looks evil, like an ugly lizard man. The other one was some kind of golden thing with 1 eyeball or something. And he assumed the golden thing was good, and the ugly green lizard dude was evil. But it was actually the reversal. And there was a lesson in, obviously, not judging by, just ideas and such, or looks and that. Basically, you're kind of having that concept being thrown at you. Basically, the Bionis is evil. You live on evil. Yeah, you get, the Bionis betrayed the Mechanis, stabbing in, starting an inflicting war that lasted for ages until they finally killed each other. Well, supposedly killed each other. You find out that the 2 bodies are actually more like mortal, meal shells of the real beings. But there's even more shit that goes way beyond that. But, going on with, more about the other stuff, before we go more into that, there's a lot of nice character development in this game. As I kind of mentioned in the last thing, there's a really special touch in this game that I haven't really felt in a lot of modern games since, the PS1 and Super Nintendo age. And I like that. That's a very nice touch. There was a lot of nice, subtle character development, especially with, Wiki. Wiki, I really like how Wiki was handled in the game. He, when you first see him, he's like a giant goofball. And, he's the stereotypical annoying cute character. But I like how he's a return of form of the cute character. You see, the cute character used to be a meaningful sidekick type character, and then it just started this weird stereo archetype category of being annoying. It's like, we need to give him the most annoying voice, stupidity, blah 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 blah. Wiki, though he seems to give you that idea a little at first, it quickly seems that he's not. The game subtly hints a few times that the Wiki is not, stupid. As, he would let you. If anything, he's basically pulling a Vash the Stampede. He purposely acts goofy and shit to not really let out how he really is or that. The game basically flat out tells you this later on at the encampment part where you fall down to the feet of the Mechonis. And there's a scene with Wiki and Dumban. Well, it basically, Dumban realizes that Wiki's a lot more caring about the situation than he lets on, because a lot of times it seems like he just doesn't understand what the hell is going on. It's like, oh, Wiki hungry and that, but in reality, he actually is quite understanding of the situation. He just doesn't like having his problems and things like weigh people down. He's very caring of other people and their problems. So they developed Wiki really nicely in the game, and all the characters are very nicely developed, but out of all of them, I really just like how they made the cutesy character more return form of being a meaningful sidekick as opposed to this annoying little squeaky thing that's yeah, sorry about that, but I mean, really, I really actually like that. But there was very nice character development. Everyone basically has somebody to support. And it's actually odd that Wiki's my favorite character, and he oddly enough supports the least used character I used in the game, Millennia. I mean, most of the characters don't support Millennia. I'm not saying they hate her, but I mean her problems in that. Wiki actually supports her a lot, actually, in the game. And all the connection with all the characters being supportive of each other, Wine supports Shala, Shala supports Wine, Wine supports Shulk, and Shulk supports Dumban, and it's just a nice chain of interactions and that just makes the characters seem fleshed out. If you want to know about really good characters, go watch Extra Credits episode about character development, or I think it was called Meaningful Characters, or something like that. It's a bit of an old episode, but I love the philosophy flawed characters make for interesting party members. And this is true in my opinion. It's always the flawed characters, the flaws in characters. I mean, when a character is just some badass super mini god with no fucking problems, I just beat him. It's just boring, Characters are so much interesting when they are out of a basic mold and they have problems, issues, emotional things and shit. They make the characters interesting. And the flaws in the cast, all the cast members of Xenoblade Chronicles, makes them more interesting than probably the whole fucking this generation's RPGs. I mean, there are some good, don't get me wrong, there are some good RPGs that came out of this generation, but compared to the PS1 era and Super Nintendo era that had so many RPGs or other games that just had tons of meaningful characters, it's just so many of these characters in the most RPGs or even hell just other games just don't seem interesting anymore. There's a lot of times they just seem so bland and gigantic muscle bound freaks and shit. It's just so, And that's what I find really refreshing about the characters in Xenoblade Chronicles, when, in a certain aspect, they're also architect stereotypes of, so, it's simplistic, it's not like being insanely creative, but they're still very interesting. And of course, this is only lent even more better with the voice acting, the brilliant voice acting. If anything Nintendo America needs to learn from Xenoblade Chronicles is to fucking go to Europe or get these actors to do this shit online or whatever. These actors need to do more shit in American games. Drop some of the shitty actors. I mean, other people, other companies, Capcom, Konami, Square Enix, I don't care with that. Get these actors. This was awesome voice work. I loved all the voices. Wiki, Millennia, Dumban, Shulk, Wine. I loved the accents and how they carried out their characters. It was just all. There's not a solitary character I hated or their voice actor or anything. I liked them all. These people need to be seen in more games. Do that now, Nintendo America. You won't regret the decision. At least I hope you don't. But anyway, stop ranting about that. The in-game gets pretty fucking weird, to be honest. So you'll find out the grand plan of the Wason, the Mechanis, or the one who wants revenge for what Bionis did. He basically, the Monado in the beginning, you'll find out the Monado can't hurt life on Bionis. Its sole creation was to hurt life on the Mechanis. So his idea was to take life on Bionis, mainly harms, and put them in Mechon, which are the face Mechon. Like the one that first attacked Colony 9 at the beginning of the game when you controlling Shulk. So the Monado is worthless against them. Well, I wouldn't really call it midway, but a good chunk into the game, you get to a point where the Monado's true potential is unlocked, and it can harm anything, including life on the Bionis. And so his plan goes away there and has to start trying a different idea. Well, you fight all the way to the capital of the Mechanis, and you get dumped about the whole thing about the past where the Bionis betrayed the Mechanis and backstabbed it and stuff. And, well, the Bionis and the Mechanis basically come back to life at these moments. First, the Mechanis, controlled by Eagle, who is the guy who is trying to get revenge for what the Bionis did. But soon after, it becomes revealed there was a grand old plan behind it all. Of course. The Bionis basically was using Shulk's body as a vessel. It is in the Monado, and he basically now takes the opportunity to come back to life and basically destroy everything. So a giant battle ensues, the Mechanis gets destroyed, and now the Bionis wants to destroy all life on the Bionis, and we consume it, because all life on the Bionis returns to the Bionis. Comes from the Bionis, returns to the Bionis. So now the Bionis itself is having a war with the life on itself. So of course, obviously, everyone, the survivors of the Mechanis, and, all the people of the Bionis, yeah, we're not too cool with that. So they struggle to fight on, live on, and defy everything that's going on now. And you'll get to the eventual end part, which is basically space. Fight a few ghosts of former enemies, and you'll get to a part that gets pretty fucking weird after. You'll fight the Bionis' spiritual self as a god who wields the Monado against you. But for some reason, Shulk retains the ability to also foresee the future still, even though he lost the Monado to him. And it's not, fully explained exactly. I think you're left to assume that because he was in Shulk, he, bestowed Shulk with, more godlike abilities than he would have probably let on. Or would have let it. But, basically, the party defies the Bionis' idea to, destroy everything and rebirth the world and shit. And you destroy him, and, there's a whole bunch of weird fucking plot twists. But to make it simple, the world was recreated because of an experiment a scientist did to Earth. This is supposed to be, Earth and the universe and that. He did an experiment that basically destroyed the universe, and we created, and thus the world Xenoblade takes place, was created. That scientist is the Bionis, and the Mechanis was another scientist that was on the space station that experiment was done on. And there's even a few more weirdo details, but I don't want to really spoil all the things. I left some details out in case you wanted to watch this. I still want to encourage you to go find some stuff in the game. There's still some details I'm not telling you there, but that is mostly what the ending was about. In that, the story's meaning. I like to think the purpose of the story's meaning was that your destiny is not predetermined, that it's in your hands, your determination, whether you get to make your dreams come true or not, and that you shouldn't give up, Pretty stereotypical meaning, but, it's very meaningful still, You should always fight for your dreams and push onward and such. The ending's pretty good, and it's pretty simplistic, but at the same time, it doesn't leave a void of emptiness in my heart. It doesn't really leave much room for a sequel. I mean, it could make a sequel, but it wouldn't really be that attached to the storyline of the previous game, because basically... Well, I'm not going to explain that, but it's a simplistic ending, but it's not like some kind of horrible ending you want to scream, betrayal! Over. So, we'll talk about the ending story and stuff and some of that. Whew. So, let's get on with final thoughts. So, basically in the end, would I highly recommend Xenoblade? Yeah, of course. Are you kidding? If you have a Nintendo Wii, you like RPGs, and you have not gotten this game yet, what the fuck are you doing? Go buy Xenoblade Chronicles. I mean, not only does the Nintendo Wii barely have RPGs, at least in America, I don't know really how many there are in Japan. I've never really been too much interested in Wii imports ever since they fucking walked out that damn disc. But now there's a nice little method to possibly do that, which actually, well, that's a different topic. Anyway, focus. If you don't, it's available everywhere now. It's in Japan, Europe, and in America, and Canada, and, So it's like, there's no problems. It's available in all the freaking languages you can imagine, pretty much. So it's like, go get it. Go play it. Go and enjoy this wonderful experience. I cannot recommend it enough for anyone who likes RPGs. If you like a little MMO environment in that, with all the quests and that, definitely a thing. But even then, it's still a highly enjoyable game. I just love it to death. And I really hope a lot of people supported this game when it came out to make Nintendo realize that there are people who want these games in America and that. I really hope they did. Because it really pees me off when Nintendo America's like, oh, no one's interested. There's only like 5 million fanboys knocking out the door. Mother 3! But clearly they just want to pirate it. They don't want to, cash out money or that. They're just gonna pirate it. But, yeah. I really do recommend Xenoblade for its story, character development, its gameplay, well, pretty much everything. This is like only one major thing I can really bitch about that I did not like about the game, and that was how you pick up quests. That's the only thing I really hated in the game. And you have the problem with quests. Picking up the quests is you'll have an NPC. They usually have several questions, and then they have a whole bunch of dialogue to go with each quest usually. So it'd be like, "Hey, you got a quest? My witch is broken. This what happened?" And then it's like, "Okay, oh, you got another quest." And then this and this and this and this and this, and then they ambushed me at the lake and kidnapped my girlfriend. Okay, and the next one, it's just a little drawn out. If it was just one quest at a time, the dialogue would not be as annoying. But you're picking up like 4 or 5 quests every NPC usually, and it just gets annoying to go through all that dialogue, to be honest. it would have been nicer if it was like just all on one thing, as opposed to a bunch of bubbles with all of it. It just seemed annoying to me. But aside from that, I loved everything in the game. I did not hate this game at all. It's delightful, it's great, it's excellent. Go freaking buy it. How could you not buy this, you monster? You monster! Anyway, highly recommended for your Nintendo Wii. Go play it. And hell, if you don't have a Wii, go get a Nintendo Wii when it comes out and play it on that. I don't care. Go play this masterpiece. By the way, I'd like to note that some of the people who made this game, or people behind Chrono Cross, the other, like, Xenosaga, and, damn, I get all the Xeno games mixed up. The one on the PS1, can I see it from here? No, that box is blocking it. Crap. I always get all the Xeno names mixed up. The ones on the PS2 were Xenosaga, and the Xeno game Squaresoft did published on the PS1. And actually, a large number of the people that had to do with this game had to do with a number of Squaresoft games. So, there was a number of people who were connected to beloved RPGs in different ways. So, how could you go wrong? Well, actually, don't answer that. Final Fantasy 14. Okay, anyway, I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed all my ramblings about Xenoblade. I'm really sorry it was long, but I really loved this game. It's really good, and I just can't recommend it enough. I hope you enjoyed the Let's Play. A lot of people checked it out on that, and I hope to see you next time in the last story, maybe, in the future.